Oh my god! Can I get a huck yeah? He's done it. Not gonna tell you how many hours I have fought that thing in the interim. But, it feels good to be done. It was a freaking boring fight, I think, but... God. Hi there, team. Welcome back. We can finally start playing the game again. And apologies to my neighbor if the yelling upsetted you.
So, 'tis thou who rescueth me. I am dust. I cometh from an age long. So, my hope is to pass this profound knowledge to thee. Would this be of assistance to thee? My heartfelt thanks. Then I shout, engrave my signature. If thou art in need, pray summon me from my signature. Seems that my time is done.
Interesting. So obviously Dusk is here. She's being held captive by the Moonlight Butterfly or the Vanguard. Grass Crest Shield. Alright, so we can summon Dusk here.
I am Dusk of Oolacile. It is an honor to see thee again. I shall follow thy wishes. For a very long time, I was trapped within the crystal golem. From my home I was taken, banished to a plane of distortion. It was there that thou came to my rescue, long after I had relinquished all hope. So gleeful was I. My faith reneweth. The sorceries of Oolacile differ from the magic of thine age. It is difficult to explain. Oolacile's sorceries are, what doth one say? They're somewhat of an approximation. Thine sorceries are more straightforward. Dost thou not find some fascination? The sorcerer, it is Oolacile's thine sorcery. Dost thou not... If thou art in need, I wish to... May the flame...
What did we just get from Andre's body, the blacksmith's body? What did we just get? Oh yeah, Grass Crest. So physical reduction 90. Old medium metal shield of unknown origin. The Grass Crest is slightly imbued with magic which slightly speeds stamina recovery and resists the bone crippling afflictions of the dead. Okay, that seems like it would be wise to equip. I'm also partial to the crest shields. So just really like the look and shape of it. So anyway, yeah, apologies to my neighbor for the yelling. Um, I think it, we've had this. Julia and I, my wife, just moved to this new apartment, and that's why I've been able to start streaming and everything. We have kind of a good setup with the computers and this whole space with the microphone and the camera. But in our first couple weeks here, we had a little bit of a noise complaint, not like an official, not like there were no police involved or anything. And I'll give you a second to make a guess over which side the complaint was coming from. It was actually, we were watching a movie and our neighbor came over and told us that the bass was loud and they could hear it, which I'm not mad at that at all. If anything, I feel like bad in that situation, obviously. Like, I don't want to like be upsetting or like disturbing anybody with my movies, right? And it struck me as this weird thing because I feel like some people will like really get upset about about getting like called out for noise complaints. I feel like there's really two sides of this that there are conversations around and sort of gossip around. Like, there's people who have loud neighbors and they get annoyed. And I've seen this conversation go both ways. I've seen people talking to their friends. They say, my neighbors are so loud, and the friends say, oh, that's the worst. And then I've heard people say, my neighbor always comes and complains about sound in the apartment. My neighbor is always complaining that I'm being too loud. And then they say, oh, that's the worst. You have a curmudgeon for a neighbor. So which one's actually the worst? You know what I mean? And it kind of touches on a larger problem of like friends just agreeing with their friends over what constitutes an issue and what doesn't. Which I guess is the foundation of loyalty, right? That's like, in any dispute, you side with with the person you're more loyal to. But I kind of take issue with that a little bit. I think we should have principles around these things that we're saying, you shouldn't be loud in an apartment. And if your neighbor complains and you tell your friend, oh, my neighbor is being so uptight, they won't let me listen to music past 9 a.m. on my speakers, then you shouldn't say, oh, that's the worst, your neighbor sounds awful. You should just say, well, sounds like your neighbor's got some good ideas, actually. So, we've been to the tower. We've been to the Gargoyle Tower, and we've been to the Moonlight Butterfly. Darkroot Garden, we have kind of a dead end. We could go out to where the Hydra is. I'm not interested in doing that yet. Or we could go and go to... No, we can't really go to Blighttown yet. But we can go to... If we had a Master Key, we could go to Blighttown. But we can go to... My friend. Oh, what I was going to say is we can go underneath Firelink Shrine. To the New Londo ruins.
Well, you must be a new arrival. I'm Andre, the Restorer. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is great news. Is it just like a repair all button? Alright. I think we're gonna go for... I guess we're gonna go for the Claymore for now. How far am I to being able to one... Okay. I need one more level, then I can hold the Claymore in one hand.
Want to see you go hollow.
Good thing I came over here, right? Found my dude, Andre. So it looks like we have lizards here. Sen's Forge. Oh my gosh, this stuff is... Ah, jeez. Crap. Excuse me. Good. Okay. So there's a Titanite demon down there. Jeez. This feels wrong, right? Okay, getting the vibe that maybe this isn't the right area for us to be at right now. However, that also usually means that there may be some sick loot ahead. Yep. Okay. So probably not Sen's Fortress yet. What? You're gonna leave your humanity in Sen's Fortress? I am. Do not care about it, actually. I would like to acquire enough souls to level up my Claymore. And then to level up myself one more time. So that's kind of what's on the docket right now. Okay, I'm just gonna try that again. So I really want to go back to the Undead Asylum as well. So Frampt is here apparently. Wild stuff, huh? So, you can probably tell I'm a little bit under the weather. Thank you. So apologies for any voice issues, any coughing that you're hearing. Thought that might be an important key. And that begs the question, if I don't have a key, will there actually be anything new for me to do in this area? I guess not. I wonder if this even works in this mod. Okay. Why are these guys, like, stronger than me? When did I become so weak in this game? Like, I'm just trying to fathom where I'm supposed to go next at this point. There's an item there? Excuse me? And I guess it's like, yes, I am that easily deterred from going back to Undead Asylum. It's proof to me I'm not supposed to go that way yet. I need gauntlets of strength. I need more keys. I just need keys to get places right now. I need keys for Undead Asylum. Need keys to get to Blighttown. Need keys for Like, this seems much more my speed. The dead city of New Londo.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Rickett Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it? What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I have no intention of escape. It's safe here. Although, I must admit, how about this? I could forge you. I'll show you what made me the best.
So he can just reinforce weapons straight up. That's pretty nice, I guess. It's kind of a must-have, I feel like. The armor smith box.
There's nothing. We're both cursed. Undead. But... oh, Big Hand. Of course I've heard of him. Who hasn't in Vinheim? He was a royal member of Dragon School. Until I hear he was quite the character. What interest have you in the old eccentric now? Come back soon. Smithing, don't let me win.
Stuck. Broken sword. Just as good. Remember when Dark Souls 3 came out? There was all this press about the S-Stock because it was like, oh, overpowered weapon. There was like a way to use it that was just very effective or something. A lot of people complained about it online. Transient curse? Only have one. Seems like a great idea. First, let's check the Blight Town door. 'Cause maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's where you're supposed to go first in this messed up mod. Okay. I'm not mad. Just disappointed. It's just like freaking me out. Like, why are there just no enemies? This level is highly cursed. I'm about to get ambushed right now.
Still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
I mean, we have to, right? Oh.
Please, I have duties to fulfill, and I will... Well? Please.
This area is highly cursed. I suppose I'm lucky that there are just no enemies here. Oh god. Hey, it's my dude from the occult thing up on the roof. Okay, I'm freaking out a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna do something and it's gonna like set the ghosts loose. Then every time I come through here again, there's gonna be a million ghosts. It's just what it feels like right now. Because this whole encounter so far seems a little bit too good to be true. Guess we gotta go through the fog door. What the heck? This is FR pretty spooky. FR stands for real. This is for real pretty spooky for me. That dude just chilling up there. What are the sounds? No. Okay. I mean, like, free area, free XP, 420 souls, free 420 souls. I'll take that. I'm trying to see the bright side here. Trying to see the bright side of a very spooky situation we find ourselves in. But hey, maybe this is a sign. We finally found what we're supposed to do next in the game. The music is so disturbing. Oh jeez. It feels like literally I'm afraid of ghosts attacking at any second. And I'm not using my transient curse because I don't want to waste it. If we'd used it at the beginning, it'd be totally wasted. So I'm trying to save it, but okay, not a good time to turn around. Okay, thank you. Oh god. The bones. There's an amazing like level design concept here in the original game, which is like when every bone that you step on awakens another ghost. And the floor is just covered in bones. So if you just run into the middle of the room, you just get swarmed. Okay. Here we are, right?
Well, this is a surprise. I don't get many visitors, except for ghosts. Do you have some business here? My name is Inward. I'm an old man, bound to these parts, but I don't mind a chat. I may even be of some help. I am the guardian of the seal. I watch over the four kings, the masters of the Dark Wraiths. The Dark Wraiths are the enemies of man, and any living thing that has a soul. They were born in New Londo, and that is where they perished, for that is how great I am the
I think the Dark Wraiths are misunderstood. Okay. So he didn't give me a key, which is fine. It's just like, I've really been looking forward to getting some keys recently. So I was kind of hoping to get a key. Would I ever argue that this version of the game is harder? No. You'd have to be an idiot to argue that this is harder than the original game, where there were literally ghosts coming out of the walls attacking you every 2 seconds. But, that being said, this feels like a masterclass in suspense somehow. I'm I'm really coming back, I feel like, a little bit from the Moonlight Butterfly incident, let's call it. Grimrook. I'm on your side for a second. And no, I don't just like easy parts. I don't just want every part of the game to be easy. It's just, I think there's gonna be a pattern like that when you see that making games harder in a dynamic way is a much more difficult game design task than making things easier in a dynamic way. So let me qualify that a little bit. Like, none of us would argue that this area is a little easier than it is in the original, right? But there's dynamicity to it. Because it's not just easier. It has some atmosphere differences, right? Like, of course, this is a spooky area, and either the original game or this mod, they're both spooky areas. No one would argue that. But this one is definitely more suspenseful. Taking something like the Moonlight Butterfly and trying to make it harder. Making a boss harder in like a dynamic, cool way involves much more complicated programming than... So he added an extra boss to the room, which is an easy way to make the fight a little bit harder. Maybe isn't dynamic. Locked by the magic of the sealers. Are you kidding me? I have to kill that guy. What am I hearing? Oh, dragons. Valley of Drakes. Key to the valley. Interesting. Opens the gate to the valley outside New Londo. Key to the iron bar is separating the ruins of New Londo from the Valley of Drakes beyond. Legends speak of a terrible dark that was sealed away in New Londo. With the great gates closed, this key opens the only passage to the valley. That is the key to Blighttown, correct? That's huge. Huge, huge, huge get. So do we kill Ingward here? If that gate is sealed by the magic of the keepers, then I think we have to kill Ingward to lift this spell, lift the seal. But I'm not going to do that quite yet. Let's just take a chill pill for a second and head back to the door. Not really scared to kill him because not really scared to kill Ingward because I know that it's he can't do much for me. I can buy purging stones from that other dude, but The only problem would be like I'm worried about if I kill him and open the seal, then a bunch of new enemies will spawn. And that area will become much harder to traverse and much harder to get back. Okay. So we last rested at Firelink Shrine, right? So we're not really in much danger here, because we can just run back down and get our souls. Okay. These drakes are obviously aggroed onto me. So let's fight on maybe some more favorable terrain. Actually, this bridge might do the trick. No? Alright. Let me just real quick grab an item. Press ring. Getting cool stuff. You know, there could be a key there. I'm pretty key hungry. So it makes sorcery stronger, but makes weapons weaker. Good ring for sorcerers. Send it back up for next time. Let's see. So all in all, I guess this would have been a pretty disappointing door to use the master key on as well, if we'd used it here. And my dude is just awake now, which is great for us. Controller's like wigging out. So let's see what's that color shift is just so harsh. Let's see what's going on in Blighttown, right? Jeez. So maybe there's something going on here, like with the weapon upgrade system. Maybe the weapon upgrades make a huge difference in this game. In this mod, I mean. And it's like, if you haven't upgraded it, then you're just gonna suck. if you haven't upgraded your weapons. I guess that's probably what's happening here. I know, weapon upgrades always make a big difference in these games, but usually it's like fine. Usually the weapon upgrades, they're fairly incremental, and they do make a difference, because in Dark Souls every little bit counts, but this feels like a monumental shift will have to happen in order for me to be able to reliably defeat these enemies like quickly, right? That's like 4 or 5 backstabs with the bandit's knife. Would upgrading it really make it like I can kill him in like 1 or 2 hits? Would it really make it like 2 to 3 times as powerful? Maybe. So I guess this is our next route, guys. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Finally defeated the Moonlight Butterfly after my 2-hour optional special episode. Once again, not gonna tell you how long I was fighting it in between that episode and this one, but I'm wearing a different outfit, aren't I? So do the math. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please give a like if you liked the video, and if you hated the video, then please subscribe.